Can a non-Muslim enter heaven? A question on the lips of a number of Muslims in the world today. Do all non-Muslims go towards hell is an issue of some controversy within Islamic theology. And indeed, you find that such a discussion is a discussion which has theological, legal, as well as social connotations. On a theological level, naturally, as a Muslim, you find that Muslims are of the belief that they are the ones who own heaven. And they are the ones who are guaranteed heaven. And that nobody will be in heaven except them. Because they'll look at a verse of the Holy Quran, for example, chapter 3, verse 19. Inna ad-deena 'inda Allah al-Islam. The religion with God is the religion of Islam. Therefore, you find that many Muslims will say that we are the people who will go to heaven, nobody else. If you're a non-Muslim, you will not make it to heaven. Whereas if you're a Muslim, the doors of heaven await you. Therefore, on a theological level, the discussion as to whether a non-Muslim can enter heaven becomes fundamental, because we have to reflect upon ourselves. Is that heaven a heaven that was created purely for us, or are there others who may enter? That's on a theological level. On a legal level, a lot of our legal conclusions are based upon our understanding of other faiths. There are certain relationships which may be dictated legally. If you're a Muslim or non-Muslim, how do you interact with one another? Are you allowed to marry one another? Are you allowed to eat of one another's food? These are, of course, important discussions. And the divisions can be seen between the monotheists and the polytheists and their different positions in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But no doubt, on a social level, more importantly than anything else, when we live in a majority non-Muslim country like Canada, or if I live in a majority non-Muslim country like America, or I live, for example, in the United States or in Europe, in many of the countries of Europe which are majority non-Muslim, I come across some of the most wonderful people who are non-Muslims. I meet people from my days at school or at college or at work who do not believe in my prophet as such. They believe in all the prophets of God, but they may differ with me over their belief in Moses or Jesus or the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. These people may turn around and we may see them as the most moral of personalities, as in many times you've been backstabbed by your own Muslim community, but the non-Muslim is the one who is loyal to you. You may work with a non-Muslim who is trustworthy, and you may have a Muslim who has taken everything with them. You may enter a business transaction with a non-Muslim and get every penny and more. Sometimes those of us who are lucky, when we do the tax return, sometimes we're told that no, we actually owe you more than that. And then there is the Muslim who will tell you, no, you owe me a lot more than that. Therefore, you find that in our own social life, we find that there are non-Muslims who are the best human beings of a truthful nature, human beings of humility, human beings who don't gossip, human beings who try and support one another. When I see these non-Muslims, I ask myself a question. Surely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who says that of His attributes He is Rahman and Rahim, Allah is the all-beneficent, the all-merciful. Surely Jannah is vast enough, not just for the followers of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, but also for the followers of others. There are others who believe in Jesus, others who believe in Moses, others who, for example, believe in Krishna, others who may believe in Buddha. These are all men of wisdom. In some cases, some have the belief, not all, but some have the belief that these are men of God. Now, if a person, for example, lives in India and never interacted at a certain part of history with any Muslims, all they knew was what? All they knew was about the Hindu faith. They never had a man mention to them about Rasulullah. Or if someone lives in the Amazon rainforest, let's say a certain period of their life, never did they know about Karbala or about Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Many of us may travel to certain parts of the world. You know that when you're in that village, there's no one in that village who's ever heard of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Let's face the facts. That you're in a village where you may have heard about Imam al-Hussein. Your average Joe in that village will turn around to you and say that I haven't heard about this. Will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punish somebody where the proof of Allah did not reach them? Isn't it unfair and unjust? Isn't it also unjust when you look at some of them and the philanthropic work that they do, the charitable work that they do? Are you telling me Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not open the doors of heaven to people who were willing to look after those who were poverty stricken, those who were elderly, those who, for example, were homeless? You're telling me that my Allah is an Allah who'll close the doors of heaven for people like this?
Hey,